Welcome to today's Safety Toolbox talk on respiratory protection. I'll be walking you through the essential information you need to know about protecting your respiratory system on the job. We often take breathing for granted, but the air we breathe at work can sometimes contain harmful substances that our lungs weren't designed to handle. These hazards can include dust, fumes, gases, vapors, and biological contaminants. Let's start with understanding why respiratory protection matters. Every year, thousands of workers develop serious respiratory conditions because of workplace exposure. These conditions can develop slowly over time, which means you might not notice the damage until it's too late. Conditions like silicosis, asbestosis, and occupational asthma can severely impact your quality of life and even lead to premature death. Consider Tom, a construction worker who spent years cutting concrete without proper respiratory protection. Over time, he breathed in silica dust that permanently scarred his lungs. Today, at just 52, he struggles to climb a single flight of stairs without becoming winded. This is why we take respiratory protection so seriously. Now, let's talk about the hierarchy of controls. Respiratory protection is actually our last line of defense. Before we reach for a respirator, we should first try to eliminate the hazard. Substitute with less hazardous materials, implement engineering controls like ventilation, or use administrative controls like rotating workers to limit exposure time. When other control methods can't adequately reduce exposure, that's when respiratory protection becomes necessary. But wearing just any mask isn't enough. You need the right respirator for the specific hazard you're facing. There are two main types of respirators: air-purifying respirators, which filter contaminants from the air, and atmosphere-supplying respirators, which provide clean air from an uncontaminated source. Within these categories, you'll find options like N95 filtering face pieces, half-face respirators, full-face respirators, powered air-purifying respirators, and self-contained breathing apparatus. Let me share an important distinction using a simple example. Think of an N95 respirator as a screen door that keeps bugs out of your house but allows fresh air to flow through. It filters out particles but doesn't protect against gases or vapors. On the other hand, a chemical cartridge respirator is like having specialized filters that can capture specific chemicals from the air. Using the wrong type is like trying to stop mosquitoes with a chain-link fence. It simply won't work. For any respirator to protect you properly, it must fit correctly. That's why fit testing is mandatory before you use a respirator for the first time, and annually after that. A proper seal between your face and the respirator is very important. Facial hair, certain facial features, or even significant weight changes can prevent a good seal. We've seen cases where workers thought their respirators were protecting them while spraying chemicals, but because they had grown facial hair since their fit test, dangerous vapors were leaking in around the edges. Several have ended up in the emergency room with chemical pneumonitis. Don't let this happen to you. Proper maintenance of your respirator is equally important. Inspect it before each use, looking for cracks, tears, or other damage. Clean it according to the manufacturer's instructions, and store it in a clean, dry place away from direct sunlight, extreme temperatures, and chemicals. And here's something many people forget. You need to be medically cleared to wear a respirator. Respirators can put additional stress on your heart and lungs, so if you have certain medical conditions, wearing one might not be safe for you. Finally, training is essential. You need to know how to properly put on and take off your respirator, how to perform a user seal check before each use, when to change filters or cartridges, and the limitations of your specific respirator. Remember, respiratory protection is about more than compliance with regulations. It's about protecting your health for the long term. Your lungs have to last your entire lifetime. Let's make sure they stay healthy.
Are you fed up with sifting through binders trying to find the right toolbox talk? Safe Leo can put an end to that headache once and for all. You'll never ever have to comb through binders again. Now you can easily upload your own or choose from our comprehensive library of preloaded text-based and video-based toolbox talks. No more last-minute scrambling to pull something together. Even better, you can bulk schedule those talks across all your projects, ensuring they happen consistently without someone having to remember. When it's time for the safety meeting, just pull up the day's talk on your phone or tablet and deliver it to your crew. Taking attendance is a breeze too. Workers can digitally sign in right on the device, or you can snap a photo of the physical sign-in sheet. Either way, SafeLeo keeps everything documented and stored in one organized system. Safety should be the top priority on any job site. Now you can streamline your toolbox talk so you can focus on the information, not scrambling to find it. Click the link below to request a quick demo.